What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA, and today I am going to tell you a story because I'm into storytelling right now. The story has a point, and the point is the following. If you have ever asked yourself, should I quit my full-time job to do my side hustle full-time? The answer is not necessarily one or the other. You might be able to kind of combine those two things into the best of both worlds by doing what they call like being an intrapreneur, or you can think of that as like starting a company within a company, like starting a division, or you have a special project or something like that. So this is kind of a cool option a lot of people don't think of, and it's cool. It can be the best of both worlds because it can give you both the freedom and flexibility of doing your own thing, but also having the resources and like stability of a big company. So you have the flexibility and the freedom of taking this little baby of yours and growing it, but you've also got that steady paycheck coming in, and you've also got some level of resources from the company to invest in this thing to help you grow it. So I did this a couple times in my career, but I'm going to tell you about one time, the most recent one. About back in 2013, I started working for a company called Creative Live. Creative Live is like an online education company for creatives of all kinds, but in particular they kind of focus on photographers. So at that time they were about 3 years old, I think, so I came in pretty early, and they had a lot of traction with photographers, but they were wondering, can we do something beyond just photography? Can we grow outside of photography? And so I was like, all right, this is interesting. I've got some ideas, because I was kind of trying to figure out how to carve out a spot for myself there. I came in just as like a general like marketing producer manager guy, which was cool, but it's not necessarily where I wanted to stay for the rest of my time there at Creative Live. I was trying to figure out where I could go. So I heard them talking about this one day, like literally heard one of the co-founders like talking over my shoulder to somebody else, like, hey, what about music? Could we do music stuff? Could we teach music classes? What do you think it should be? Should we teach like guitar lessons or teach people how to DJ? What do you think that should, I don't know. What do you guys think? So I kind of butted in. I was like, hey, I was like, oh, this could be my opportunity to do what I was talking about, which is to start this company within a company. I was like, hey, I can help you with that. I was like, oh, really? But tell me more. So I was like, hey, well, I know a lot of these successful producers. I heard you guys talking about guitar and DJ, like, that's cool, but what you should know is there's actually like this big community of people who are really passionate about producing metal out there, and I think that might be the place to start. Like, metal, really? Like, people listen to that stuff? And I was like, yeah, I know it sounds weird, but there's this huge like passionate community of people who produce metal. I know some of the people who are producing that shit. I know I've got some partners lined up. Basically, like, you just need to give me the green light and I'll run with this thing. So I think they were kind of skeptical, and they didn't exactly tell me yes, but they said kind of sort of yes, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm not gonna ask twice. I just ran with it. So we produced our first class in, I think, online class. So the way it works is like we would do a live streaming class with some, with a producer. They would teach you how to do what they do, a music producer, and then you can watch the streaming class for free, and we hope that you like it, and then you pay for like the recorded version of it. That's like the Creative Live business model. You've seen a lot of other people copy this in online education in general, and you've seen a lot of people copy it in music specifically, but it was very new at that time. Like I think I was the first person to do that in like the music space, or pretty close to it anyway. So we did our very first class in at the end of 2013, I think, like maybe August or September of 2013. As soon as the bosses gave me the green light, I was like, okay, shit, I gotta make this thing happen. So I called two people. The first person I called was my very good friend and now business partner, A.L. Levy. He's a producer that's worked with a lot of these, like, if you listen to heavy music, he's worked with a bunch of your favorite bands, like Monuments and Chelsea Grin, and I don't know, like 9 million other bands that you've heard of. He had a hand in producing or recording or mixing or engineering one of them. And then the other person that I called was my very good friend Bill from TuneTrack. TuneTrack is a big software company in the music space. I needed two things. Like basically my goal for producing this first thing, and the goal, like if you were watching this and thinking about how am I going to do this at my company, the first thing I think you want to do is like have a successful like pilot, beta, test, whatever thing that doesn't have to be like a grand slam home run, but it's got to be at least a base hit to show the bosses that there's something there, because they're trusting you to invest in this thing, and you don't want to eat shit on that first try. So you got to make sure that it's at least reasonably successful. So I called up Ale because we are very good friends, and I knew that we'd be able to create something good together to as far as like the actual like educational part of it. And then I called up Bill at TuneTrack because I wanted to have a good partner on board with this thing to kind of get that industry stamp of approval. So TuneTrack they make music production software like Virtual Drums, if you know what that is. They make a product called Easy Drummer and Superior Drummer and a bunch of other stuff. Great products, great company, great guys. So they were fortunate. Bill was fortunate, or was kind enough to support me on this thing. So I had the two things that I needed. I had a teacher, I had a partner, and then we did the thing. So the first one went pretty well. Like it wasn't amazing, but it was good. I think we had like 5,000 people or something watching it, which is pretty cool. I mean, it was small compared to the photography classes, which might get 30 or 50,000 people watching them, but it was enough to show everyone that there was something here, right? And people in the industry noticed because Ale is a known quantity, TuneTrack is a known quantity, and it just kind of kept snowballing from there. So I think the second one we did was a class about music business. I did that with a guy named Steve Rennie, who at the time was the manager of the band Incubus. You might know that, like the big rock band. Also an awesome guy. Steve, thank you for being part of that crazy adventure. It was super fun. So yeah, that was like the first two. I don't actually remember what the third or fourth ones were, but like the next big kind of breakthrough thing was in March, I think, of 2014. I did a class with Kurt from Converge. And Kurt, if you know anything about like heavy music, you know that Converge and Kurt are super respected. So after we did something with Kurt, that just kind of opened the floodgates to everything else. And then I was able to call up, basically I just went down the list of all the producers that I could think of that were doing cool shit that I thought might be good teachers, and we did stuff with all of them. So I did stuff with like Andrew Wade, who's produced like Neck Deep and A Day to Remember and The Ghost Inside, a bunch of other bands like that. He was one of the early guys. Did some stuff with Chris Crummett, who has produced bands like Issues and Dance Gavin Dance, a bunch of stuff like that. Did some stuff with Brendan Smalls, the creator of Metalocalypse, whatever. We did I did a total of like I think 50 or 60 classes there at Creative Live. So essentially what I did, I didn't frame this very well. What I did was I started the Creative Live music and audio channel. So they had the photography channel, they had a business channel, and then I started the music and audio channel, and I essentially ran that like my own little business. I was sort of like the general manager there. I was responsible for figuring out the product, like figuring out what classes we were going to teach and getting people to teach them. I was responsible for marketing them, so for like getting people to show up and watch the thing, and then I was ultimately responsible for the bottom line, for how much money this channel was making or not making. So I did that for a few years, and it was really fucking cool. So thank you to everybody at Creative Live for your support on doing that. That was a really awesome experience. Thank you to any of you guys who might know me from being on Creative Live and from anything I did there, and thank you to Ale and Bill and everybody at Andrew Wade and Joey Sturgis, like Matt Halpern, that's how I know him. Thank you to everybody that supported me on that. But if you happen to be watching this, so anyway, the point is that if you have a good job with like benefits and a steady paycheck and all that, and you're nervous about giving that up to like start something new, think about this as a third option. Think about starting a company within a company. And so the way you want to do that is just kind of reverse engineer what I did. First, you want to wait till the time is right, because if you ask at the wrong time, you might blow your only chance at it. And it's not 100% true. Like you might not, you may get more than one chance, but you should assume you're only going to get one chance because it might be true. So wait until the time is right. I got super lucky by by literally having these guys, like, the timing could not have been any better for me. It was like somebody like serving it up on a silver platter to me. It's like, hey, here you go. Here's your chance. Now's the time to ask, right? So wait till the time is right. Number two, have like a, you know, your best shot at a bulletproof business case for this thing when you do talk to the bosses and ask them to go ahead with it, because they're going to ask a bunch of like hard questions most likely, and you better have a good answer to those or you're fucked. Come into this thing like, you know, like I did. I worked out what I think was a pretty good business case for it. They're like, oh, interesting. Well, what did you have in mind? And I was like, well, here's what I would teach. Here's who I would have teach it. Here's the partners I would get on board. Here's how many, here's like some rough math on how many people we can get to watch it and buy it. So, and here's like a guess at profitability. So they're like, okay, it sounds like you've thought this thing through. So you've heard me talk a lot about planning and how it sometimes is super important, sometimes it's not important at all. In this case, you do need to have a very good plan. That plan may or may not come true, like you may get it totally wrong, but when you ask the bosses for their support on this, you want to have what you want to have your best attempt at a bulletproof business case. And then lastly, you better make sure that if they say yes, that you can fucking do it. So like, what happens if they say, cool, I love it, let's do it, and you're like, oh fuck, oh geez, I didn't think anybody was gonna say yes, what do I do now? You don't want that to happen. So be prepared, like think through, like, what if they say yes? How are you gonna actually put this into action? So before I pitched the bosses on this, I actually called Al and Bill, and I said, hey, when the time is right, I'm gonna pitch the boss on this thing. If they say yes, are you in? And they're like, yep, just let us know, we're down. Whenever they say yes, just tell us and we're here to support you. So get everything lined up. Wait, you know, build the business case, have your resources lined up to produce this thing, and then ask, so that when they say yes, you can just jump on it before they have time to change their mind and say no. Like, wait a minute, what did you talk us into? So anyway, there you go. That is my thought. If you are considering, you know, if you feel like you have to choose between a stable job and doing the thing you're passionate about, think about this as a third option, or maybe you get the best of both worlds. All right, everybody, I am Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. If you found this helpful, I would love it if you would help spread the word, because I want to tell more. I love telling stories, and I want to tell more stories to more people. So please please subscribe to the channel, share this, leave a comment, tag a friend. You know the deal. Anything you can do to help spread the word would be awesome and much appreciated. All right, friends, I'm going to sign off. I will see you next time.